Okay, I've cleaned the moss off, and the soil is so broken down. I can't believe I've missed this for a repot. And bear in mind what I'm asking this tree. I'm going to do something which, it's not an emergency repot, but I recognise that the health of this tree will decline if I leave it as it is, and I'm certainly not going to get any more growth from it. Now, doing this repot, I don't actually think it's going to cause the tree to die. It may just go a bit stagnant for a year, but I feel in this instance it's probably the best option, so I'm willing to take a chance on this. Now, I won't be doing any root cutting. I'll be moving into a much bigger pot with a nice free draining soil, but let's have a look and see just how bad it's got. I could tell because it's so loose, it means that the roots haven't got a nice grip or spread on the surface. Okay. Now, it's always difficult when you get like this, because I can see now, I'll pull it up and there's clearly some roots there. I don't want to interrupt it too much, so I'm just going to carefully just try and open it out just a little bit, because I also want to have that root ball to be able to tie it down with. This is definitely not something I would normally do. It's something I'm doing in this instance, in these particular circumstances, and knowing there is a small degree of risk with it. So all I'm trying is gently going to tease some of these roots out a little bit. I can see there's actually it's a little bit damp at the top there, so it's been holding moisture. And we have got those roots there. I will probably definitely have to just cut a few of them. I can't really not cut those. Okay. I mean, the thing about it, that's lots of root there, but there was no feeder roots or anything coming from the end of it, so it's just, all I've done is I've shortened a very, very long hose, I hope. Just continue to tease out a little bit. I just now want to tease out those roots into the new soil. Possibly one of the other options I could have done is actually buried it higher with a view of trying to get something up there. But if I was going to do that, I'd probably do that in the spring. You know, the good thing I know is that so long it stays healthy, I'll keep it in a shaded spot. We're going to get loads of new root growth definitely happening in the autumn, fall time. And by the way, every now and then I'll click into my Americanisms and I'll say fall, and it's simply because I watch a lot of American bonsai creators as well. I hear fall a lot more than I hear autumn, so it's the only reason I'm doing it. That's just if anyone gets upset by that or put out. Just want to go a bit tighter on this. And again, even doubly important now to make sure that all the air spaces and pockets are filled. And the slope allows the new soil to come down there and fill the hole that you open up. Well, I think that's the principle anyway. I'm sure Darren can update me if that's not the case. Okay, well, that's a repot. It wasn't something I expected to do at the beginning of this video, but for me it became apparent it was something that I should take a risk and do. Unless it's something that's really untoward, this tree will definitely benefit for that. Let's go find out who's on the phone. Okay, well, that last call was from a financial organisation who apparently has some very good advice for me. So I gave them some good advice too, very politely of course. Here it is. I'm glad I've done it. It's had a double whack really, lost some roots, it's lost a lot of stuff up top. It's definitely not going to be anywhere where the sun's going to scorch it. It's going to be somewhere nice and shady. And I'm confident it'll be fine. So we'll give it a spin. As I say, there's a lot more stuff to clear up on the trunk. But, you know, this is the tree, and unique that it is. Still a Trident Maple. And in this day and age, it's still a sought after variety of tree. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'll show you the other two. I'll do all the pruning to them, and then you can see how they look at the end. Well, this isn't a Trident, it's actually a beech. But it just occurred to me, I've got loads of photos that have been building up in Subscribers Corner. I thought you might like to see them as a little break between the dangerous repot, which seriously, I did it for personal reasons. One of the main ones being is that I know we'll get some really harsh frosts. We've had some bad winters. And with the roots that I saw on that in such a small pot, I thought there was a greater risk that the tree would die over the next winter. So I've actually done that to 3 of them, where I really should have got the repots done this year in the April. I don't recommend it. You know, I'm not sure how well it's going to react to that. I think it'll be okay, but I certainly don't recommend it. Anyway, why not give you a spin of this beech? I'm not sure whether it's featured ever actually. I only just took the wire off it. It's got this interesting, a bit like my Katsura maple actually, double here. And I toyed around with the idea of perhaps doing the same thing, and I may well still do and do an air layer there. But this is the one I'm working at, and I just realised, as I say, I need to put an insert in for Subscribers Corner. So without much further ado, let's go. I don't normally talk through these, but the first of the ones I'm going to show you is from Simon Bremner, and he's featured before with his interesting bonsai wire racks that he made out of old magazine stuff. Now, he lives in Oz, so, and in fact he lives in the same state that I was brought up in, and he knows the ongoing debate about Zell covers, elm covers, Chinese elms, and that one's finally finished. Everything in my yard is a Chinese elm, without a shadow of a doubt. But he told me that, well over 20 years ago, he got 20 or so Zelkova saplings. Some of them he planted, which you're seeing, and some of them, or a couple of them definitely, he put in pots. Incredible colours, and thanks very much for the pictures. The next is Ryan's Asa, and I've got to look down, Shirasawanum. It's in early structural development, but I think that's going to be a beautiful tree. And for the final sale, I want to thank JM Ocampo. JM, would have been nice if you had your first name in my email, but that's fine. And you sent me a range of photographs of bougainvilleas, all in lovely flower. You've also sent me this lovely picture of the first tree you ever created while you were in college. It's over rock. There is somewhere in those pictures a cascade lantana Ita rose. I couldn't see it, but it's in there somewhere, so someone shout out if they find it. There's also an Orocochina or Cocina. I'm going Spanish on the Cochina, but it's double C, so I'm not sure whether it's said that way. And also he's got a dwarf holly in there. Lovely photographs, and I say again, if anyone wants to feature showing the development of their trees, because I keep saying there's a lot better examples of bonsai out there than what I show you, and I'd love to see them. I'm sure the subscribers who are also watching would love to see them too. Anyway, without much further ado, I think we need to go back, not to that, but to the 2 more Trident maples that I'm going to quickly take you through. Let's go then. I don't know why I did that. Okay, of all the Tridents I've got right now, this one is probably the best of the examples. Obviously needs a bit of weeding, but lots of growth all over it. Very healthy. I'll be able to cut that back using the same principles. But the nice thing about this is you've got a much nicer trunk. very clean to look at. Some wiring scars that were there from a few years ago have healed in nicely, and about the only thing I need to do is investigate next year what that Yamadori potentially looks like, the roots, get to the root of it. So yeah, probably one of my nicest examples. I'm a little bit smaller than the other one, so I'm going to carefully hack it back, clear all the structure, clear the roots and moss, and then show you it. Okay, yeah, went to town on this one, and it's hard to know until you actually get deep inside there, and you can start seeing, you know, when you're looking really close, where there's bud points a lot further back, and that's what we're aiming for. We want to bring that growth back in and try and get the best structure and ramification that we can for the tree, and avoid any of the crossing branches and stuff like that. And this is the time to do it. This and in the fall. Done it again in August. So give it a spin. I fed it up heavily. Just cleared, probably it was a good centimetre of quite thick moss, and yeah, not great for allowing air and water to percolate through the soil. So got rid of all that. Able to clear up. You can probably see it's a bit wet down the base. Cleared that up a bit, and this is what we've got. And I know it looks very bare, and truthfully I can already see points where I'm going to go even further back, but I do think it's got a nice structure. The least of the scars in this tree. So that's that one. And the third one we've gone is going to be one at a completely different stage. So let's go and have a look, shall we? And this third example is obviously a cutting, and it's come from one of the trees you've seen, probably that first one. It's 5 years old now. It's obviously, the minute I put it in that pot, I basically said to the tree, you're not going to be getting much bigger. So I've been letting stuff grow out, and then I'm clipping all the way back. So it's got a lovely little basic shape. Now, I could, looking at that, decide, you know what, I want this to be a bit of a bigger tree. So next year, actually upsize it by one size. And that may well be what I will do with this. But it's got a lovely structure right now, and all I'm going to do is bring it back down. There's an ideal cutting candidate there. But let's grab it while you're watching. That branch is all the way back to here. I'm not even sure I want it, but got a branch there. That's probably is actually the next branch I'd want. So what I want to do is, there's two buds there. Take it from there. This should make an absolutely brilliant cutting. Bit more for now. Okay. Notice on one of these though, definitely some burn off on the leaf, so something's going on there. Right, and then I'm going to prune this back and show you what the stick looks like at the end. Okay, the third one, the cutting, which is not a marmee, it's just a cutting in a small pot. There it is now. Done quite a lot of cutting on it, and again you can see clearly it's got a nice shape there. Lots of movement, different branches. And I just need to try and encourage a bit of taper in this, but I think I like it enough that I will let that grow. I've given it lots of fertilizer. Next year it's going to get up potted, and I'm just going to, this will be the slow way of thickening it and bringing it on. If I really wanted to get it anywhere near the other ones you've seen, I'd probably put that one back into a nursery bed. And I know there'll be some people out there crying out, nursery bed, get it in the ground for a couple more years. But I've got lots of trees, so I'm quite happy for that. And also it does mean that if anyone fancies something smaller, and because it's a Trident, they know it's going to be a little bit more pricey than a normal cutting, it means I've got some options for people who visit, or if I've got a stall fair where I can, offer something at a lower price but still looks like a bonsai on the way. So that's the third example. There'll be the cuttings. This afternoon I'll probably just put them into a container. So the cuttings, a bit like in my cuttings video. I'll do exactly the same thing. I'll probably put them in a humidifier, in a plastic box with a plastic lid, and leave them in the shady part of the garden. I'm hopeful I'll at least get 3 or 4 decent future tridents from that. And that will be that. Whew, it's taken a couple of hours, you know. I bet when I finish editing this, it'll be down to about 12 minutes. No, it's not going to be 12 minutes. I never ever have anything under 20 minutes, do I? So, from Xavier, having finally got around to doing his trident maple pruning, the other 12 or 13 I'll do exactly the same way. You know, I hope you see, it's not a lot different from doing Japanese maple, except with the tridents you can see a lot further back on the branches, back buds that you can get activated. And that's the aim of this time of the year. It's all cleaned out, being fed. We've done a little bit of wound healing, but overall I'm really happy with those, and they're well on their way, if not already there. So from Xavier, hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, please press like, share, or even subscribe. And if you don't like it, then hit the unsubscribe button. I believe I'm telling you that. No, happy bonsai and God bless. Cheers.